Hey, what's up, traders? So watch this video here for Tuesday, March 24th. Another kind of ugly day in the market. And I want to share this with you real quick. This is one of my favorite posts of the day in chat. It's one of my favorite chart setups, or I should say day trading setups of all time. So I'm just going to go over that real quick. It was a great call by Jane, but this was the daily chart. BMRA was on bounce watch because it had this huge move and then two red days. One of them, I think, or maybe both of them, because there was an offering. But I put it on bounce watch. I like this daily chart setup on a recent high flyer that got decimated for a couple days. So there's the daily chart. That's before today's session, by the way. Then on the gap down, which is my favorite thing to happen on a daily chart like this, it gaps down, and as it's coming up near the break of its opening candle's high, that's a 5-minute candle. Then it put an inside fives. Jane, about 4 minutes into the session, says BMRA may be gap down, bounce play, ORB, which is opening range breakout. One of my favorite setups. We teach it in the course. And so you got the gap down. The long was, I think, I can't remember, 665, something like that, as it was breaking the high. And look at this, it ends up going over 10. Posted by Jane. Great call, and one of my favorite setups. So even in an ugly market, there are still day trading setups. And as you guys know, I'm in cash every night. Love that setup. Jonathan L. also a great post on Boeing. Real quick, I'll show you this 5-minute candles. Boeing was putting in this kind of flag at the highs. Whole number inflection point. There was a seller on the tape. Yesterday, I should say Friday's high, because we had a weekend in there. Not that far above. Boeing had some news. And Jonathan posted in chat 104 idea, break of 104. Wayne saw that post, and Wayne reiterated it. So there were two posts in chat for those of you that couldn't make it today, pointing out Boeing idea through 104. And look at that. These are 5-minute candles. So on this, so maybe a little 10 or 12 minutes, it went up over $10. I love the chat room, love the teamwork. That is a great post. All right, back to the SPY. Another ugly day. I don't love this watch list because there's not a lot of great setups, but here's what I'm looking for. Apple, a little bit of a bottoming tail today. I guess the vote for the relief package didn't go through, but I suspect it could happen tonight or during the session tomorrow or anything. So it's good to be alert and be ready to take a trade if the market does rip. And actually, Apple's kind of my go-to. So I definitely want to keep Apple on chart, but it's overdone to the downside, as is everything else. Apple's one of the ones I feel most comfortable jumping into if there is a market pop, right? Maybe on some good news, right? BJ, another red day, but you've got 3 days down now. It hit the 20-day today, kind of back down to support. I do like this for a potential long tomorrow. Remember, only with a proper intraday setup. I'm in cash every night looking for intraday charts, setups on these daily charts. KR, also really strong stock recently. 3 days lower, right into that 20-day. That one goes on watch. Abbott Labs, ABT, just 3 huge days down. And again, it's in the pharma space. And I think they're caught up in the whole COVID thing too. So this one could get a nice bounce. Anyway, it didn't trigger today. We're going to watch it again tomorrow. AHPI actually makes respirators, I think, that actually feed you the oxygen, not just the masks that you hear about. But they're sort of meant for pandemics. So this one's kind of interesting, and it's had some huge moves lately. And now we've got 2 days lower, kind of right down near that buy zone. So we'll see if this one can give a low risk setup. When it moves, it really moves, right? Whirlpool, WHR, just kind of a waterfall shape. I'll look for a bounce in that, especially if the market bounces. I don't think people are going to stop washing their clothes, right? CPB, Campbell Soup was one of the stronger stocks because everyone was looking for stuff they can buy that'll last for a long time in their pantry. I think that thesis still applies, and now we've got 4 red days down into some support from back here in the summer. Again, I think that thesis is going to apply for a long time. I don't think Campbell Soup suffers very much during this pandemic, so that is one of my more favorite setups, if you will. I wanted to throw a retailer on there, so I just chose Kohl's. Again, if the whole market bounces, this thing is really beaten up. I don't know. I hate to talk about where its stocks come from because everything was much, much, much higher a few weeks ago. But I think Kohl's survives this, and it's pretty beaten up. So that's kind of the retailer I chose to watch. BLPH had the gap up, made an insane pre-market move this day, and got slapped down. Slapped again today. Just going to watch this for a potential bounce. A lot of people underwater now, but at the same time, shorts might be pretty quick to cover if that thing is an A+ setup to the upside, because that thing, as you saw, can really, really move sometimes. AYTU, a little bit aggravating because I was watching this thing all day, and look at this. It stayed in its opening 15-minute range all day. Then in after hours, it goes up over 220. I liked this through too, but it didn't happen during the regular session. After hours, it went. As I'm talking right now, it's back down to 2. I'm not a big fan of trading after hours, and I did not trade this one, but I do want to watch it because it had a big volume day, topped out right around 2. BMRA, I already talked about Jane's great call in this one. I think this might have a follow-through day tomorrow, follow through on that bounce. So we're going to watch that one. A couple more. NBY, big pop, inside day, and then kind of looked like it was rolling over, but actually kind of closed, did close above its open, and maybe back to $1 tomorrow. Let's keep our eyes on that one. And lastly, I wanted to put a restaurant on there too, because some of these restaurants are really, everything's beaten up, but I think people are still getting carry out. I think some of these restaurants are still operating, and so they may give some really nice bounces on some good market news as well. I'm done babbling. We will see you in chat tomorrow.